Hello everybody, what's up? Today I'm going to do the, let's tilt this up, Taylor Swift book tag, which I just watched Cattytastics and it was so much fun, and this is so good because I love Taylor Swift and I love books, and yeah, and Kat did this thing, there's 10 songs for Taylor Swift, but then she added 2 more, so I totally did add the 2 that she did. So let's do that. Before we start, I think we need to assess my awesome t-shirt. It says to live. I know it doesn't make any sense. This is the thing we have with my church. We have these Wednesday nights. And to live is to read the Bible and to love the Lord. So there's your little Bible quote for today. Love God. So now let's get on to the book tag. And you are given a song and there's like a scenario and you have to pick. And like none of those thoughts were complete. There's like a song and a scenario and you have to pick. There's a song from Taylor Swift and there's a scenario about a book and you have to pick a book. So the first one is We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. And this is a book that you loved, but now you would wish you could break up with it. Now, the reason why I'm about to say this one, like, I could not find one for this because I don't hate many books, like, at all, and I never loved one. I never loved them, then hate them. I'm very sturdy in what I think. But I'm only thinking this one just because I kind of lost interest in the series and started to not follow it, and I didn't read the 5th one. But I picked City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I love this series. Please don't think I don't just because I'm putting this as this question. City of Bones was so good. I loved this series. She's a great author. Really, honestly, I do really enjoy this. But I stopped following it. Like, I didn't read the 5th one, and then so I didn't have time to get into the 6th one, so I'm just like, yeah, whatever. So I kind of just lost interest, but I still really like it. It's still a great series, and I recommend it to a lot of people. The next book is, the next song is Red, and now you have to pick a book with a red cover. I choose the book that I'm reading right now, Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. Yeah, that's right, that's what I thought it was. Hey, look, it's a red cape, and then there's, like, red hair. Hey, can you see yourself in the reflection? Hi. I can see myself. But yeah, I'm almost done. I know it doesn't look like it, but if you can see this like little black line, that's where it stops and there's extra. So I'm about halfway through. I've been reading this for like 5 days. But I've had school and homework, so I haven't been able to read this much, but today is Thursday, so I plan to have it done by Sunday, or Monday since Labor Day weekend. Woohoo! No school. So Tuesday is the book release for Heir of Fire, so I have to finish it by then anyway, so let's do that. So Scarlet. Now you have to, The Best Day, and a book that is nostalgic. Oh gosh, I forgot this one. Well, I have one of the books in my stack, but I don't want to spoil it for you. So, something that's nostalgic is The Lightning Thief by Percy Jackson. It's my Harry Potter. I read it. I love Percy Jackson. That is my favorite series, and I hate people who are like, oh, I love Percy Jackson. I'm like, really? Have you read all of them? No, I'm on the 3rd one of the 1st series, and I'm like, don't talk to me. Not till you're done. I love it if you keep going, that's fine, but come on, read them all before you say that you love it. Okay, this is love story and a forbidden love. And I couldn't think of any that weren't obvious, like Twilight and like, I guess the more literal is because there's like werewolves and demons and brother, sister. So I went with, this is a lot more towards the movie, but I went with The Giver by Lois Rowley. That's a word. Lowry. Technically Lowry isn't a word either, but so this is honestly a little bit more toward the movie just since it developed more of Jonas and Fiona. And it's kind of forbidden because they're not supposed to feel like that because they take their medicine so they don't feel like that. So I'm gonna go that as Jonas is experiencing a forbidden love. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a unique answer. This one is I Knew You Were Trouble, and there's a bad character that you just can't help loving, like a bad guy. So I went with Draco and Snape from Harry Potter. Snape is one of my top 3 characters from Harry Potter, and Draco is in my top 5. I just love them both so much. Just because Draco is so mean that it begins to get comical. Just because of how bratty and terrible and snobby he is, it makes me laugh endlessly. But I love Draco. And then Snape is, like, my Snape. Do I even need to explain? I don't need to explain Snape. The next song is Innocent, and someone ruined the ending. And so for this is Allegiant. They didn't do it on accident or on purpose. I asked them to because I'm like, come on, just tell me. I don't really care. And I found out, I don't even know how I found out. This came out, it's been almost a year. I remember the time when it hadn't come out and the world was still spinning on its axis. Oh my god, Allegiant, it's awful. And I haven't read this. I read the first 100 pages. Oh, look, my bookmark's still in it. I've been looking for that. So I diverted me. So I got 100 pages in. I skimmed it just because it's so boring so far. There's not much of a plot. Then I like skimmed some of the rest, and then I read like the last 5 chapters. Promptly cried, but still. So that I don't really care. I'm done with that series. Like, I love the Divergent and I love Insurgent, and 4 is kind of the best thing ever. And I'm so ready for the movies and just all chronological order. I'm even excited for the Allegiant movie. But just because of that, I'm done with the series. It's over. I don't need to think about it anymore. I'm so done. This is, Everything Has Changed, and a character who goes through a big, extensive character development. And I couldn't think of a significant one, really. Kat from Cattastic had a really good answer. She said Juliet from Shatter Me, which I totally agree with. And I don't even know if the answer I'm about to say is correct, but it's open to interpretation. This is what I felt like. I feel like, Miles, is that his name? Because they always call him Pudge. Miles, I feel like he went through a pretty big, transition just because, you know, the whole thing with Alaska, and then he's not used to, like, leaving, and he's like at a different school, and all kinds of crazy stuff goes down. So I would say this, just because he goes through and I feel like he gets a little bit stronger and maybe a little bit more sure of himself in certain ways. I guess it's a really touching and moving book. I saw some kid reading this at school and I felt such an urge to be like, hey, I like that book. But I managed to not. So this next one is You Belong With Me, and it's a most anticipated release. Okay, let's play a little game show. What do you think my most anticipated release is? Da 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 da. Freaking Blood of Olympus. If you didn't get that, I'm going to need to know how. Have you just, like, never watched my videos before? And even in this one, I addressed how freakishly obsessed I am with The Lightning Thief. So, if you didn't get that, I'm gonna have to ask you why. Tell me down in the comments if you guessed that. If you guessed that I was gonna say Blood of Olympus, I love you, so put it down in the comments so I can tell you thank you for loving me. So, I've already told my friends and family that October is going to be a really rough month for me just because it comes out at the beginning of the month, so then I have to suffer for the rest of the freaking month. And I'm going to, like, read it, and I've already told my parents, and I didn't ask them, like, Mommy, Daddy, I told them, Mom, on the day that the Blood of Olympus releases, I'm not going to bed until I finish it. I did that with House of Hades. I got it after school, and then I finished it. I was up late, and I had school the next day. Guess who didn't flippin' care? Me. So, yeah, like, Blood of Olympus, I'm about to die. I am. This is, Come Back, Be Here. Come back, be here. A book you wouldn't lend out because you'll miss it too much. And this one, there's actually a couple of reasons. This is The Fault in Our Stars, everyone. It's by this guy named John Green, and it just so happens to be my favorite book of all time. All time. So I actually may possibly have 2 copies. I might have this one, and I may have that special edition one that has nothing different except for the silver cover and, like, Q&A in the back, all which answers I already knew. But, I mean, I may or may not. So I wouldn't mind that much giving it out, but I would not give out this one because Bam, signed, found it at Target, people. I've told you guys this story, found it at Target for $15. And it came with a movie CD that I never watched. It was just like behind the scenes stuff about the movies. I don't know why I didn't watch that. So I would not lend this out. I have lent this out like twice, only to my friends, and I've given them a serious lecture. Like, I'm not even kidding. I wasn't just being a friend like, girl, I'll kill you if you lose that. I'll be like, girl, I'll kill you if you lose that. Like, I'm not even kidding. I actually talked to them and they were like, okay. Because I'm like, if anything happens, because at that time I didn't have my special edition, so I couldn't lend that one out. I was like, if anything happens to this book, I will have your head on a silver platter. I'm sorry. John Green does this to me. Okay, and these are the two that Kat made up, and these were great. Good job, Kat. Is Teardrops on My Guitar, and what is a book that made you cry a lot? Well, obviously, but since that's obvious, and if you didn't cry when you read that book, then you don't have a heart. But anyway, so I chose The Mark of Athena. I had no idea what was coming. I knew that there was something big and awful at the end that made everybody just heartbreak. I knew that there was something at the end. Didn't expect it to be that. If you've read this, you know exactly what I mean. And if you haven't, I say again, why? But I remember I was begging Megan. I was like, please just tell me. Because at that time I had no regard for Percy Jackson and the respect of waiting and patience. But I was like, please tell me. She's like, nope, not going to tell you. All I'm going to tell you is that it's awful and terrible. So, and I didn't just sob. I didn't just explode. I like got really misty-eyed and I got quite a couple tears and I used a couple tissues. But I was so shocked. And like, I didn't cry when I was reading it. Like, mainly I just did this. That's what I did. And I cried afterwards after I started thinking about it. Like, I finished it. I'm like, la-di-da-da-da, ooh, they're gonna fix this issue. I don't want to spoil it, everybody. I'm gonna fix this issue, blah, blah, blah. Wait a minute. Where's the rest of the book? Oh, wait. And I had to wait several months for the House of Hades. So I did cry while reading that. It was just emotional and stressful. And I was so shocked. I had no idea something that terrible was coming. And this one is Shake It Off, and it's a book that you love so much that you shake off the haters. You don't care what people think because you like this book. And I know this is a really controversial answer because I honestly couldn't think of very many because if booktubers or people like books, then I like books. But I went with a selection by Caracast. Do people not like this? Because I'm pretty sure they do. Everyone has such a hatred for America that they hate this series. And I hate America, like, half the time, too. But then the third one, whenever it came out, it changed me so much, and I loved it so much, and it made the series one of the best, like, ever. So it's not, like, one of my favorite series or anything, but I really enjoy this. It's so much fun, and I loved seeing where it was going to go and how it was going to end up. So, and people just don't, because they just hate America and they hate Aspen, which I do too. I hate Aspen, I hate Aspen, I hate Aspen, I hate Aspen. It's my least favorite character of all young adult fiction ever. But, you know, well, that's not true. But I seriously hate his guts. But I still enjoy the series, and I thought it was oodles and oodles of fun to read. I love saying that, don't you guys? So that was the Taylor Swift.